You're listening to Morning Edition on this Wednesday here on WCBU. I'm Rich Drager. Studies show women are less likely to receive CPR from a bystander than men because of concerns of inappropriate touching, exposing of the chest, or accusations of sexual assault. An Illinois lawmaker wants to address that gender gap. WCBU Capitol correspondent Evan Holden has the story.
Illinois high schools are required to teach CPR, but there is no requirement about having female mannequins. Democratic State Representative Maura Hirschauer, representing a suburb of Chicago, has introduced a bill to require female mannequins in high school CPR classes. She says the idea for the bill came from a Naperville student who noticed that all the mannequins she was practicing on were non-breasted mannequins.
We started to see a lot of research coming out about, women being up to 25% less likely to receive bystander CPR because people are nervous and uncertain about performing CPR on someone who has breasts.
The Illinois Principals Association has raised concerns about the cost of buying new breasted mannequins, as some schools already have a tight budget, and the state might not increase K-12 funding enough to support this program. Basic CPR mannequins are about $200, but can increase depending on the complexity of the model and the accessories. Hirschauer says schools can use mannequins they already have and instead put on lower-cost chest covers.
If a school already has a supply of non-breasted mannequins, they have a pretty long lifetime. They last a long time. Then they can purchase a chest cover that costs $12 to $16. So it's a pretty manageable cost for districts.
Hirschauer says the Illinois Heart Rescue can also help provide female mannequins because they already provide CPR training equipment to schools. Hirschauer says it is important that people are represented in CPR training so that there is no hesitation when performing CPR.
If you are only learning how to perform CPR on a non-breasted mannequin, then you do not see yourself reflected in that.
Hirschauer says this inclusivity can save the lives of women who have heart risks and alleviate some of the hesitation someone might have when performing CPR on a woman. Christopher Larkner is the manager of simulation operations at Jump Trading and Simulation Education Center in Peoria. The Medical Research Center is run by OSF Healthcare. He says there is no difference in the way you administer CPR to either mannequin, but training on a female mannequin could reduce some of the hesitation.
From a training aspect, would it be more beneficial to practice with both? Absolutely. But a lot of the times, though, for the layman person, it's everything's above the clothes and you're on the phone with 911 dispatchers and they're talking you through all the steps.
Larkner says that is why if you are on the call with 911, they will try and help you through the situation no matter your knowledge. But if you are CPR certified, it is important to act. Still, Larkner says there is only so much training to prepare someone for the real-life situation.
Will training fix that fear? I can't say for certain that if it will, there would need to be significant studies to support that kind of claim.
Larkner says training is still important because it prepares someone for a situation where CPR is needed, but training can only teach so many variables that might occur in a real-life situation. Danielle Fanny, manager of clinical education at Carle Health, says different mannequins can remove some of the discomfort from performing CPR.
It also helps increase confidence and reduce hesitation when responding to these patients. It supports that equitable care as well as better real-world preparedness for healthcare and community responders.
The bill is still waiting to be called for a vote. The American Red Cross says CPR, when done correctly, has a significant impact on their chances of survival, regardless of gender. I'm Evan Holden.
You're listening to Morning Edition on WCBU.